like it.
You can bet Juanita Broaddrick means nothing to her.
Do you think, well, how do you know that?
Well, I mean, if that's her ground, why didn't she talk about it? Why didn't she say...
discussing this instead of discussing issues, and it wasn't an issue for the last 25 years. She felt violated. She should have come forward then, but she decided to come forward now, and she even said, look, I plan on voting for Hillary Clinton. She had planned on voting for Hillary Clinton. She already said she's a supporter, so it just doesn't seem like it.
You can bet Juanita Broaddrick means nothing to her.
Do you think, well, how do you know that?
Well, I mean, if that's her ground, why didn't she talk about it? Why didn't she say, if groping me is bad, raping Juanita Broaddrick is not so good? I mean, she didn't go there. Right?
I don't even understand
I'm not sure I understand.
I don't.
First of all, that was an interview about what she said was innocent happening to her. You're saying you wanted her to talk about Juanita Broaddrick in that interview?
I'm saying if we're going to get into the entire issue of this, then we have to deal with the entire issue. And of course, this comes back to Hillary Clinton.
I guess my question is, why do you believe Juanita Broaddrick and you don't believe these two women?
All I'm saying is give them the equal forum. I mean, these four women...
We've had we've just reported them. We've reported on Juanita Broaddrick.
Anderson, the New York Times is not going to sit down and do a long sit-down with Juanita Broaddrick. There's a story in TMZ today about NBC executives having this tape, this last tape that was released, for months, and they held it deliberately before that debate. That's the accusation here.
Well, actually, no. I think the reason they held it, they said they were working on legal issues. It's very possible they were trying to protect Billy Bush.
And I mean,
you believe first of all, you believe NBC itself released that to the Washington Post instead of releasing themselves and getting the media benefit of that?
This is the larger issue that goes well beyond the sex
but what
issue
proof
here.
do you have of that?
Well, you've got the executive saying that, Anderson, look, what I'm trying to communicate to you...
If NBC wanted to make a big splash before the debate, wouldn't they have released the tape themselves? The fact they were holding on to it actually, I think, raises a lot of questions about NBC and their judgment.
Yes, but Anderson...
But I think it was more about protecting their people.
Anderson, what I'm trying to communicate to you is you've got a lot of Americans. I met a couple from Virginia this evening.
I don't care about anecdotal stuff.
Well,
I mean,
Anderson,
I know...
Anderson, no, wait. It is important here because there is a view in the countryside that there are elites, media,
so
and
you know a couple from Virginia who bolster your opinion. I had a cab driver who had a different opinion. What does that matter?
Right. Anderson, outside of Manhattan and New York, you've got a lot of people who see elites in this country thumbing their nose at Americans, and that they use things like this selectively. That if it's Clarence Thomas, it's a big deal. If it's Bill Clinton, it's not. If it's Donald Trump,
bringing up Juanita Broaddrick is really important because literally on our airwaves, 3 hours ago, Kellyanne Conway brought this up, and she was met by the host with, "Those are exaggerations." You cannot call one class of sexual assault victim exaggerations and the other class
we not only reported on that, and we're reporting on it again tonight. Both what Bill Clinton is accused of doing and what Hillary Clinton is said to have done in all of those cases. So, but I don't think it's fair to say that the mainstream media has completely ignored any. I mean, I remember the 1990s.
I'm not aware of any mainstream media outlet that's given an interview to Juanita Broaddrick.
Well, BuzzFeed has actually.
But BuzzFeed and Breitbart.
I
Those are
also
mainstream
feel
media
as though, you know, as an employee of the Washington Post, I feel like you are maligning my employer. I mean, we got this great scoop, and we published this tape when we got a hold of it, and it had nothing to do with the election. It had to do with the fact this was newsworthy, and the fact that we're sitting here and debating whether or not this topic should be discussed after literally the Trump campaign has spent 2 weeks talking about what Bill Clinton, who is not running for president,
has done. So have you sat down with Juanita Broaddrick in your paper?
The Washington Post has reported on Washington politics literally over a century.
Can I just say this?
Stories about all of the things that have to deal with Bill Clinton. But the thing about news is you report on it when it's new. This is new, and that's why we're talking about it.
That's exactly right.